Well, One Nation have made their move. They're now going to attack and they're going to win seats from the Labor Party, apparently, even though it is evident that most people are moving away from the Liberal Party and the Nationals in particular and are deciding that One Nation is the party that will best represent them. It is an interesting time. The next 2 years are going to be a roller coaster ride for all of us, and it's something that we all should look forward to. Just wanted to tell you just to subscribe to my channel, ring the bell for further notifications. Let me know what you think about any of the comments that I make. Remember, it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. So Pauline Hanson has decided that she's not only going to win these seats from the Nationals and from the Liberals, she's also going to win seats from the Labor Party. Now, I think that this is pie in the sky shit, and we can expect to hear a whole lot of crap similar to this from Pauline over the next 2 years. So I'll just take you to this particular item, which was released in the Sydney Morning Herald just a few minutes ago. One Nation leader Pauline Hanson is speaking from Adelaide alongside former Liberal Senator Cory Bernardi, who will run as the party's lead upper house candidate in the South Australian election in March. And boy, do we ever need someone like Cory Bernardi, who's been involved in a few parties up until this time, started his own. Everything that he touches fails. You know, he's the Donald Trump of Australia. So let's see what happens in relation to Cory's efforts to become a power broker here in South Australia. There is a good chance, though, that he'll probably win the upper house seat, given that Sarah Gain is no longer a One Nation candidate. She's turned independent. Someone else who's left One Nation, incidentally. But Cory is likely to win. This is his effort to grasp for power, to demonstrate what a wonderful human being he actually is, even though he's the craziest person on this planet, apart from a few others, such as Trump, One Nation leader Pauline Hanson, and a whole host of others. But he is a right-wing nut. There's no doubt about that, a Christian nationalist who will implement and attempt to implement to Australia some of the Trumpian policies of the US. So it goes on further to say there's no hope for the people. This is what Pauline's saying, the cost of living, the lack of housing, mass migration, blah, 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 blah. All these things have accumulated and have had an impact and still will continue to have an impact unless we put out decent common sense policies to turn it around. There's nothing, I tell you what, Pauline, there's nothing that represents common sense about anything you say or do. But unfortunately, the public will probably fall for it, and you will win a few seats, I have no doubt. I'm warning Labor now, you're on notice. We are coming for your seats, and we are actually going to represent the people of this state to give them hope and future generations, she said. Hope that they can own a house, hope that they can hold on to a job, hope they can get that hospital bed where they need it, nursing homes. It just goes on and on and on. And I need to say that that trying to topple in South Australia Peter Malinauskas is an impossible job. So best of luck. And my main thing is equality for all Australians, especially with mass migration. If you come to this country, assimilate, become Australians, and join us and be proud of what we as a nation, not divided. One Nation has been soaring in the polls at the cost of the coalition, and the party has flagged future defections to the One Nation from within federal parliament. Okay, we're going to hear a lot about that over the next couple of years, and Pauline's going to be flogging this horse as best as she can because she needs your vote. But is this really what One Nation is about? And my view is that, as a humble social worker, is that the reality of what they're going to do, the type of people that they're going to have involved in One Nation, is going to cause splits everywhere. And I'm going to take us in a moment to a short put on YouTube by, what's her name, Bianca Salicio, who is the secretary, I think, for One Nation in Victoria. And this particular video that I'm about to show you tells you everything you need to know about One Nation. So bear with it, because there's going to be a lot of these sorts of videos happening in the next couple of years. One Nation My prediction is that One Nation will, at some point in the next 2 years, fall apart, that they will not be able to sustain the momentum, that my guess also is that they've peaked at this particular point in time and that they are likely to decline in popularity as we see and hear more from them, because Australians will soon understand that this is a con job and that Pauline Hanson has not got the goods to govern this country. She has never, ever demonstrated any ability to change. In 30-odd years, she has not been able to change the complexion in Australia at all. She's been hopeless at that. She is just noise in the background. But that noise is becoming louder, agreed. But we need to confront it for what it really is. Now, in this video, we see Bianca, who incidentally is Italian. When she first came to Australia 10 years or so ago, she didn't speak any English whatsoever. She is an immigrant to Australia, and we must remember, I remember when I was growing up, the way that Italians were treated, Greeks were treated, anyone from that neck of the woods, they were vilified at every opportunity. So that they suffered racism, a type of racism, or the fact that they were immigrants into Australia. They suffered that. I don't think Bianca was aware that the way this country was in terms of immigration back in the 1950s and 60s and how that impacted her descendants. But here she is in Australia telling us the way that the nation looks according to her.
Happy New Year's, everybody. I just popped out of work for a minute here in Melbourne CBD, and I wanted to play a game with you. It's called Spot the Westerner. Let's see if you can find any. It doesn't look like a Western nation at all, isn't it? Yeah, here we are. This is the reality of Melbourne CBD on New Year's Eve. And this is an issue, and a big one, because no matter how individually they might be good people, but it is a problem at the collective level. It erodes our cultural identity and cohesion. Multiculturalism is a failed concept. When you start seeing demographic change and clusters of groups of people that are supposed to be a minority, and all in a sudden we are the minority, it is a problem, and a big one. All we need to do is looking at Europe, what is happening there in Germany and the UK and France and Italy. It is terrifying, and we must oppose it with everything we got. Authorized by Warren Pickering, 8 Prompt Lane, Pakenham.
So there's a lot wrong with that. There's a lot that we could be upset about. Firstly, someone from overseas who has immigrated to Australia, who now has got influence in One Nation, is spouting this shit. Because I did a post the other day, last week I think, where I was talking about going to the local beach area at Semaphore and looking around and noticing that there were lots of people from other countries there. And my response to that is who we are. That is Australia. So what I'm questioning is this crazy notion that this immigrant has about other immigrants, of which she is one, and telling us how the country should look, and it looks non-Western, according to her, whatever that means. It's a load of bullshit. But nevertheless, people like her are influencing One Nation, or I should say, Pauline Hanson and those similar views are really what One Nation is about. And we need to make a stand against that, because eventually, imagine if Pauline Hanson was in power. Imagine what that would mean for immigrations. We would start looking like the United States. And we must resist that at every possible level. We are not the US. We are a completely different country to them politically and in the way we view immigrants. And we must continue to maintain that difference, I mean. So let me know what you think about that, the craziness, because we're going to see more and more of this distortion of Australia by people like Bianca and One Nation. It is inevitable, and we must make a stand against it. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Please remember to subscribe to my channel and ring the bells. And also, I need to say that, I don't know why I put that up. I need to say, it was a reminder. I need to say that I'm having a live feed today at 3 o'clock. If you're watching this before then, please tune in at 3 o'clock Australian Central Standard Summer Time to watch my video. It'll be a ripper. I've got so many things to talk about and so many discussions that we can have. So join with me at that particular time. Take care.